Hey there, it's Rose. Welcome back to Before the Queue. I'm an agility handler, dog trainer, and I'm learning right alongside all of you. I'm switching things up a bit today. I haven't posted here in a while, and definitely I wish I had been more consistent. I can't go backwards though, so I'm going forwards. So, welcome on the journey forwards. If you haven't checked out my latest podcast episode, I guess it's not my latest anymore. When I wrote this, it was. I highly recommend you listen to that. So it was, um, it's the one before this video. If you like to listen to podcasts on YouTube, on your favorite podcast app of choice, I believe it's called "Becoming the Trainer Your Dog Needs," something of that nature. Lessons with Levi. She's taught me a lot of lessons, and I just thought I'd share that one with you. Um, just it'll give you some good insight into what I'm talking about today, and kind of going from there. It was definitely a learning moment for me. I think it's something that I knew before this, um, in theory, but I really had to put it into practice. So today I kind of want to walk you through my runs, um, and specifically focus on what our kind of goals were, which was our start line, or what I like to call the lineup. I'll break down what I saw, and then what I was trying to train, and how my decisions played out in real time, and then how that affected the next thing. So I'll jump right on in. Try not to waste your time here. So this is our first run. It is absolutely not my favorite one to watch. I've had to watch it so many times to decide what I'm going to say to you guys. So she's barking into nothing here. She's completely disconnected to me, from me, I guess is a better way of putting that. And I'm not getting much from her. In the past, I've definitely asked for other behaviors like a chin rest, a down, a nose touch. I'm just trying to interrupt this like feedback loop in her brain that says keep barking, I'm assuming. This time I didn't. And I really wanted to be intentional and see what our lineup actually looked like and not try and patch it. And this was obviously a 0 to 10 and kind of heartbreaking for me. I came into this trial knowing that there would be some growing pains. So I had made some plans for sure. I did not think it would be this bad. So I knew that there was a food box. It was listed in premium, and I've been here before, so I knew exactly what it would look like. So I tried to use that as kind of like a consequence, punisher, if you will. Like if you can't engage with me, agility goes away completely. And then try and show her that if you do line up, you got access to agility. In theory, this makes complete sense. In practice, it didn't work. I do think if I had done this a few more times, that might have been helpful. In the food box, I got focus, and that was great. We came back in. She offered me the exact same thing. So clearly, that plan not terribly effective, but on the bright side, you can see when she's leaving the ring, she's actually quite happy. She's loose in the body, she's wagging, she's like excited to go out and get her cookies. So it didn't break training. It didn't kind of break this barking thing that she was doing. But it also didn't, I assume from her body language, make her have any bad feelings. Definitely not my best moment as a trainer, but it was information, and that was great. So this is our second run. This one, I definitely saw an opportunity here. So the dog before us had an accident in the ring. So there's a delay, like they were cleaning that up. And so obviously there's lots of kind of disinfectants and stuff that they have to use. So I wanted to see what I got. And I knew that I would have extra time. So in the sense that like you could stand there and bark at me for 50 seconds and likely they wouldn't be done cleaning. So I asked the same question, and Levy gave me the same answer. So I left the ring again, and reset. And generally this wouldn't be allowed in UKI, to completely leave out. I could have used the food box again. Again, you'd have to declare a FEL. But I knew that the gate, we go in and out of that gate all the time. I had never been in and out of the food box. So I thought, this might add some clarity. And again, I was only allowed to do that because they had to clean up what was going on. So I do think I used that to my advantage. So I left, came back in, and then I also thought, okay, well, she loves motion. So I added some more and brought a little energy level right dancing in there. And that seemed to help. Still wasn't, I wouldn't even say this is a 5 out of 10, but she did sit. She did line up how I kind of was expecting. So that was a win. I kept the criteria of the start line really simple. I didn't want to risk losing this kind of light bulb type moment by asking for more. The goal was the lineup. We were struggling with it. We got run, which is like a tiny step forward. It wasn't our best run by any stretch, but I think it was important for us both to have a move forward. And then here's our snooker run. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll know why I brought the toy in. But this is where we both kind of started to click with each other, where she said, "Oh, okay, we'll try that." So I brought the toy into the ring. Again, if you haven't listened to the podcast, I highly recommend it. And her lineup improved. I like a fair amount. I got a faster response, a little less barking, and like the barking I did get, she was looking at me, she was barking at me saying, well, and I don't know what she was saying, but I assume, can we start is what that barking means. There's a funny moment, and again, I've reviewed this video so much to talk to you guys about it. She gets up, she takes a step, and then realizes, oh, nope, mom's not ready yet, and she sits back down. This is not quite our criteria. I don't like that. But I didn't see it at the time. And I did wonder why she got the bar. Very odd for her to get a bar. So I was like a bit thrown off. But I do love seeing that she's like, oh, I have to wait till mom says go. When she got moving, she was really happy and engaged. And I looked for spots where I could reinforce and really kind of play. And, she loves agility, but I wanted her brain a little bit more. And then I had another run and I didn't bring the toy in. It wasn't great. We got to run, but whatever, right? And then I went, my train partner and I, my traveling partner and I, we went back to the Airbnb, and I was a little bit sulky. I felt really bad for her because I know how much Levi loves agility, and like how this clearly was not logical for, like, she was just like, I don't understand, I think. And so I reviewed the day one video, and I didn't do like this huge deep dive because I think that that's post trial. Like, I want to look for the things that I want to train later. I want to see what I'm working with, so I have realistic hopes going into day two. So one thing was super clear after reviewing the video is that the toy made a huge difference. So I really tried hard to lean into that difference. Her lineup definitely improved. It wasn't the smoothest thing I've ever seen. But like the barking was directed at me instead of the environment. So that was a huge shift. And I was like, okay, this seems to be working. I think she is barking because she wants to do agility. She just doesn't fully understand that she gets to buy that yet. And that's on me to clarify. And so I started saying, okay, well, we need to start training this. So not everything went perfectly. Obviously, it's agility, right? There was a few moments, like in our first run, I probably would have run with the toy in my hand had I been a better trainer. Then in our agility run, which I was very excited for, I lined up completely on the wrong side. Not like I lined up, I think, on my left, and dog on left, and I wanted her dog on right. Then where I tossed the toy, because she was dog on left, was right on her line. She had to like turn away from the toy. It was just like, ooh, girl, but we proofed that shit. It was good. So I had a good friend point out to me that on that particular run, I made things as hard as possible. So that was great. They were right. I mean, so for me, like what I took from that is like my plan, I need to be really intentional there. If I expect to hold Levy to this like criteria of like, hey, this needs to be perfect, like the lineup, I think like there are certain things that I can control and I can hold our criteria to. Because if there's unclear criteria, Lev's gonna do what she wants. And like, fair enough. So I need to hold myself to that criteria. And then I do think that even though there were some mistakes, there were some really strong, good things that happened here. I mean, one thing that I took is like her fluency around her reinforcer, specifically her toys, is like so huge. And I think that really helped us here. She stayed really thoughtful. She was very responsive, even though I was clearly feeling some pressure. And that's all that work I did last summer paying off, and it matters a lot. If you are looking to up your reinforcement fluency and you're looking for somebody to help you with that, hit me up. I got a couple coaches who help me with that. So this is our last run of the weekend, and the lineup was like better than I could have ever expected. And honestly, I don't know that I could have expected more from this dog on this run. She came in super engaged. I was like, oh, we haven't had this before, ever. Like, I have not had a dog that engaged walking into the ring ever. She's still barking, but it feels really productive. You can see she's like connected. She's like, yep, I know what to do. Is kind of how that felt. And this was the shift. This was the light bulb. This was it. I placed the toy behind her, just again, trying to change that picture for her as much as possible throughout the day. And she handled it really well. She ran towards me and it was beautiful. So I have gone to another trial. And it was great. And my plan, can't wait to tell you all about it and show you guys. One thing that was said to me was like a start line happens every single run. Every single time I go into an agility run, whether it's jumper, snooker, whatever it is, we're going to start on the start line. So that fluency of the start line needs to be my top priority. So I'm super excited to share with you how my next trial went. And I hope this is valuable content. I don't actually know. I think it's cool. So I'm much more relaxed if she starts great. This took a bit of time, I'll be honest with you, to put this all together and get brave enough to post it. So if you found it helpful, please let me know. I'd love to hear that. A like totally works on this. I'm not sure how often I'll be posting these, but it's definitely valuable for me to do. So if any of this was kind of like interesting or anything like that, feel free to share it with a training friend. If you don't want to miss the next update, hit subscribe, because who knows? I will try and announce when my next one's out on my podcast, just so you guys know. I appreciate you following along with me. I can't wait to tell you all about my next trial. I might even try and convince my coach to do some breakdown with me of the runs after that. But yeah, it's a super update. All right, you guys have a good day. I hope you get out and do something fun with your dogs. And most importantly, I hope you're enjoying agility. Cheers.